embracing your life through empowerment. I'm here to explain this to you. I'm Tara Nolan, transformation business and life coach. I'm going to reveal to you today the biggest block that I find with clients across the board, what is standing in their way to manifesting the life that they really want and, creating their soul calling business or scaling their business to the next level, or even just living life on a more fulfilled and happy level, right? So I want to first say, what is empowerment? Empowerment is really embracing your life. Like, even if it's as it is, and that's what leads you to what's next. So if you think of empowering someone else, maybe in business, that's giving them authority, right? So that also strengthens their confidence and shows that you trust in their abilities. Now let's turn that around. What if you were to give that to self? Like, give yourself that empowerment. You'd be giving yourself authority to control your own life. If you're doing so, you will increase your strength, your ability, your belief in your own abilities, as well as your confidence. So when it just skyrockets, right? So when this happens, you have hi Kim, great to see you. When this happens, you have a major shift in mindset. And when your mindset shifts, then everything else in your life starts to shift, because this is it. This is the big reveal. This is what I swear everyone has in common in some level, in some different area. It is empowerment versus victim mindset. So what I mean by that is we see ourselves as a victim of circumstance. Like, it could be this coronavirus. Like, well, my business couldn't work because of coronavirus. Well, I couldn't go work out today because it's rain cold, or I couldn't, it's always like, or because of my situation with this lawsuit, with this other person in my life. Well, what happens with that is that you actually find yourself, you don't even realize it, right? Of course it's unconscious, and of course I understand how that can happen. I mean, really, it's raining and you don't want to run outside. But what this is, instead, if you flip it, it's an opportunity to pivot your life, your business, your decisions, and learn the lesson that has unveiled itself for you. So the lesson is there if you want to be open to it. Again, what I mean is, if you say, I wish it weren't this way, like, this was BS in my life, this was painful, this was hard in my life. Without that pain, without that struggle, forget it. There's no personal growth. There's no opportunity for real empowerment. Like, you are just spending your time saying, I wish the grass were purple instead of it's green, right? Like, I wish my mom wouldn't do this. I wish my partner wouldn't have done this. I wish that my kids wouldn't do this. I wish I'd make more money. I wish I would be in better shape, and this standing in your way, then you're seriously just wishing that the grass were purple. The grass is green. So even if that person is a challenge in your life, or this situation's come, or we had quarantine with coronavirus, or whatever it is, when you show up without this fear, like fear of, but what's going to happen with this, that's a fear mindset that really goes hand in hand with victim mindset of, what happens with this victim mindset is that you tend to get a lot of self-criticism and judgments about yourself or life, about how it should be. It's outside yourself, like it shouldn't be that way. Whenever you get caught or shouldn't, you know that you're judging something and you're wishing the grass were purple. So, and it should be what it is, because that's reality, and that's empowering to embrace reality. If you find yourself judging outside of the self, outside circumstances, my guess is that it's very likely that you're also judging yourself. You're also finding yourself criticizing yourself, judge yourself, telling yourself what you should be doing, how you should be different, how you could be better. And you get in this negative cycle that's shame and blame about the self. But what if you could switch that around and realize that everything's exactly as it's supposed to be. Not that you have to stay there. but it's where it is to bring you the lesson you need to take you to what's next in your life. So that is real, like, spiritual thinking, reaching a higher level, and empowering. So let's just say that you have to, wasn't coronavirus, you have to run around like taking the kids to like 5 different places, and it's exhausting. And then you have to go do this, and you have to pick this up for dinner, and you have to do this. And you're like, oh, this is like so much stress in my life that I don't want to have to be doing. And you find yourself in a negative thought pattern. So here's an example of how you switch that around, right? When you start to think, but I really love having these children in my life, and I'm really grateful for them. I'm really excited to make dinner tonight. You know what? I actually want this partner or spouse in my life. I want these children in my life. I want this job in my life, whatever it is. Then you realize that you actually chose this scenario, and you can choose not to do it. You can always choose not to do it. People don't think that they can. And that's when you can switch it and say, actually, I want to just enjoy peace at home during coronavirus instead of like fighting it and having the struggle, right? So this is real empowerment. Or like one of my clients getting hard on herself this week because she didn't think she was where she was supposed to be in her business. This particular client has 2 small children, is having another. So what we uncovered in our call is that actually there's subconscious beliefs in there that of course are holding her back to getting more clients and to scaling, because she wants the time with her family instead of just empowering herself, to say, yes, I don't want to take on more clients right now. I really want to just be here with my kids. She was being hard on herself and not making that connection. We do that all the time. Like, we can stop ourselves in business from getting more clients because we don't want more. But there are ways around that. And that's really what I coach. So many ways around, stop doing the things that aren't of your best interest, that aren't serving you best. Like the things that you don't like them and you're not good at them, or one or the other, then you just don't do them. You just get really clear that that's not what you're going to do. You do what you like and you do what you're good at. And that also is empowering. It increases confidence, increases your belief in yourself, because you feel good about what you're doing. I always think this is a real issue with schools, actually. I love that schools give a broad education of everything, but sometimes if a child isn't good at math, but they're really good at English, they'll say, you have to keep practicing your math because you don't know math. Well, what happens is the child starts feeling really down on themselves. They start feeling like they can't do it and they're not good enough. And this really messes with their psyche and their self-worth and their confidence, rather than have them keep doing English, or that could be gymnastics. Have them keep doing gymnastics and get really specialized and be really good, at that one thing that they love. And that would just take them so much further in believing in themselves. Because once you have this believing in self and this, I am good enough, I'm worthy of the best life, I'm capable of making all this happen, like, everything shifts, including, I coach people on business a lot, but I will say it's funny. What we've noticed in my 90-day transformation program right now, there's about 11 or 12 women in there right now. And like half of them are not interested in starting a business at all. They, have no interest in that. And the other half are, and some are interested in leaving their corporate jobs. And some are like, I just want to find my purpose. I want deeper meaning in life. And I want to get out of this cycle. But it doesn't matter if someone wants to start a business or not. The reason I do it that way is because what we've found is that finding purpose in your means that you have deeper meaning. And when you have deeper meaning and purpose to actually think outside of yourself and to help or serve other people in some way that matters to you in your heart, to make some difference in the world, it starts to shift everything, including combat anxiety and depression. Because now you have a different zest and passion for waking up each day, right? So everything feels a little different, and you start changing your way of thinking, rewiring the brain from old thought patterns that were telling you that you couldn't. It's all connected. It's all connected with how you show up and setting higher standards for yourself. Like, this is the kind of work that we do. Set higher standards in all levels of your life. Show up as that highly valued person right? In your relationships, in your career. Like, you want a figure earner? How would a 7-figure earner show up? You want to be a 6-figure earner? How would a 6-figure earner show up? You want to be in a healthy, happy relationship. How would you show up to do that? What person are you in that scenario, right? So this goes back to my theme. This is empowerment. This is empowering yourself to live the life you really want to live, because you start to believe that you're capable and deserving of that, right? Believe that you can do that and that you are that person. So you start to be that person. And that is where you gain control over your own thoughts and gain control over your own life, right? Because everything around you starts to shift. It's really, I call my program the Magical Manifestation Program, because it really is magical. We start, like, people will say that, they'll be like, oh my God, I just started like getting into the feelings that, you know, they were talking about. And at a meeting with a different client yesterday, she said, I kind of like raised an eyebrow at the beginning. We're just finishing up a year together, actually. She said, after a year together, now you tell me this. And I just said, yeah, of course that's true, that, you know, I raise my vibration and I start to bring in clients because I'm doing what I love, and I'm, you know, there's more attractive energy going out, and people are attracted to that. And, you know, many businesses are about relationships, because most businesses, you're still in sales. You know, even if you're, you know, an entrepreneur, whatever it is you're selling, your services or your products or anything, you're still an entrepreneur. And again, even in life, it's all about, you know, connecting with people in relationships and feeling like you belong and feeling loved. And that's that sense of belonging and love starts with what you give yourself. Starts with what you give inside, and know that you are. Once you know that you are, other people feel that energy. So you attract other people the same. So it doesn't matter, right? Whether you're attracting your deep level friendships, whether you're attracting clients, maybe you're attracting just a partner, you're attracting, but your vibe kind of sets the stage for what you do surround your life with. So this work on, you know, stopping this victim mindset of that something happened to me or someone else did this to me. We all have pain and struggle. You know what? I've had horrible pain and struggle. In the last few years, I had my heart ripped out of my chest. Something really hard, the hardest thing in my life ever occurred in my life. The most painful. And as horrible as the situation was, there still has to be gratitude for the strength and lessons that are learned in those times of pain. Thank God life's not so easy, because it would be really boring. We'd have less meaning. We wouldn't learn any lessons. And we're here to take that in. And when I get triggered, when something hurts me and I get triggered by something that happens, or someone has, people are still doing unfair and horrible things in this world, I'm glad that I'm triggered, and I'm glad that there's fire lit within me, because it makes me want to do something about it and makes me want to help people even more. So you can see that you're put into these scenarios for some reason, so that you can help other people, so that you can maybe stop the injustices that happen in this world. And again, instead of seeing yourself in a painful situation, which I was doing, I was feeling like a victim. Definitely. I felt like the victim. I said I was the victim. And I've changed that around to say, now I know that the pain that come to me is only going to be there to help me to guide other people to step forward and to get out of their own struggle and painful situations, and say, I am not going to let a painful situation define me. I am not going to let that hold me down, because it's one thing when something happens in your life that's painful, right? And it's another thing when you let it continue to hurt you and hold you back from the life that you want to live. Like, you can raise your vibration so much that you're so happy that people literally like can't touch you. Like, you can't touch me. I'm happy. I'm good. Sure, something might hurt. Something might come up. Something in your life might not be working right now. But I'm here to tell you, it's temporary. It's all temporary. And you can have the pain is going to happen, right? But the struggling afterwards, the suffering, that's what's optional. Pain is inevitable. There's a quote, I don't remember who said it. It's one of the gurus of the past. But pain is inevitable and suffering is optional. It might be the Buddha or Thich Nhat Hanh, someone like that. So yes, pain's going to come. Allow yourself to feel it. Know that it's temporary. It's going to leave. If you hold on to it and you let it be your story, gosh, and I've done it too, it can be easy to do that. But you know what? It, like, people will say this to me, like, it's hard. It's so hard to let it go. It's harder not to. It's hard to go. Empowering. That's empowering. When you can take the most painful situation and say, I am not going to let that hold me down to living a happy, healthy, successful, amazing life, you know, where I touch other people in the best, most positive, energetic way that I can, or I make a difference in the world. And be that person for your kids, for your partners, for your parents, for your siblings, for, you know, for anyone else that's in your life. When you do shine brighter within, people around you see that example and they step into more power within themselves. Like when they watch you power yourself, you've just spread empowerment. So that's powerful. I know I'm saying the word power a lot, but that's how it works. It's beautiful, right? But when you get it, conversely, when you look at the doom and gloom in your life and everything that's not working, and you tell yourself that story, life sucks, my life is shite, this is what's happened to me, and you talk to other people, and then you look at yourself and you blame yourself for it, and you get hard on yourself for feeling that way, like, stop. It's okay. Just, you can actually witness your mind going that direction. Your thoughts are going in that downward spiral. You can choose to make a difference, right? You can choose to stop those thoughts. That's learning to control your thoughts. That starts to shift everything in your life. So with that, I think I've made this point pretty clear. So I will say that it's Friday, and I typically do these on Tuesdays with Tara, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And today's was about embracing life through empowerment. So tune in with me you can subscribe to my channel on YouTube. You can book page Tara Nolan at 2 p.m. on Tuesdays. You can Soul Purpose Entrepreneurs and Life Lovers group on Facebook, because I would love to stay connected with you. And I hope that this is helpful for you to live a really happy, empowered life. And I have this little beauty back here just coming in to join me. So I will, with that, help my little child, my sweetheart. I'll sign out. You want to wave? Bye?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Have a good weekend. Lots of love. Mwah. TransformationTara.com. Stay in touch.